you know, I trust you. Hold on. Let's move this up here instead. That, I keep just, like, getting ahead of myself, bro. Alright. Let's move this right here. I feel good about that. Because this also throws in a wrench here, because I think that these two are very likely to show up. Pokemon and obviously, like, the mouse. I think the next really big, easy one that we need to put a wrench in is this one right here. Like, the second column. Because even if Pokemon doesn't show up, I know Metroid's going to be there. I would put money down that we are going to see Metroid Prime 4, and even if it's not like a full reveal or a full, like, re-reveal, we don't get a trailer for it, they will mention that Metroid Prime 4 will be getting a Switch 2 enhanced version. We don't even have a release date for it yet, and if they were going to give us a release date, they should have done so in the previous Direct, but they didn't. Specifically because it probably will be releasing very soon after the Switch 2's release or day of. I think it just makes too much sense. So we keep that. But yeah, I think I want the next one to be like around right here on the list, just so that we have something that kind of throws a wrench. I think we get a new Zelda. Here's the thing. The newest Zelda we got was Echoes of Wisdom, and that actually wasn't too long ago. That was less than a year ago, because I think it came out in October, I think, of last year. And yes, it's been a while since Tears of the Kingdom, but that's still like a good while away. And we're talking about like a brand new Zelda game. Zelda at launch for Switch 2? Think of it this way. Breath of the Wild got delayed a whole lot on its own. Came out in the first year of Switch. And then, like, Tears of the Kingdom used the exact, like, backbones and everything of Breath of the Wild. You know, not to put any pressure or say developers, you know, purposely put, you know, kept it under wraps and things like that. But, like, it took them several years just to create a sequel for that game. And we're talking about a brand new Zelda game. Like, this would be, like, they would have had to work on Tears of the Kingdom and this other game at the same time, which I don't think is impossible, because Nintendo does whatever they want, bro. They could have had, like, another team just working on the next Zelda, as opposed to, like, Aonuma's team, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm definitely going to keep it on the back burner. I think that we could see a new Zelda. Do I think it's extremely likely? No. I would probably put it in the corners alongside the Zelda HD remakes, like those getting ported to Switch or Switch 2. Because again, all of this, like, this is the point of the bingo card. Like, do I expect all of this to happen? No, but it's fun talking about what could happen. Honestly, I want to put Monster Hunter Wilds on here, but I don't feel like that's really good. You know what, Dan? Hold on. I'm not giving you it 100%, but we are going to put it on there. Oop, hold on. Oh, that image is not large at all. Hold on. That image is also not very large either, but we're going to see if it works. Stream elements, you good? But I'm going to do the same thing that I did with Elden Ring here. Oh, it looks like ads start in a minute. If ads actually do start while I'm in the middle of this, I am going to like pause myself to let those finish, since this is a little discussion stream. I want to try and, you know, get that in as much as possible. Come on. I wouldn't know I have subs. I hate ads, so if anybody's watching stream and a little gift sub, dude, you don't get ads. Oh, that's the bro. No, man, it was all good. I mean, I actually do need to... Okay, ads just went on, so I'm just going to finish editing this and not actually talk about it. As for the ads, I actually do need to adjust my scheduling for the ads, because I think I have them too frequent right now, and that's actually how I had them purposely before. But because I'm not streaming as frequently, I do want more uptime when it comes to actually streaming. So that's a change that I am honestly glad that I was reminded of. That is a Word document from like 5 years ago or longer. Okay. All right, again, I'm gonna let this, the ads wrap up and we'll be good. It says 30 seconds left, so I feel like either people have finished their ads or they're getting there. Because apparently, I didn't know this until I watched like a short about it, but evidently ads, you know, obviously get delivered to people differently, especially depending on where you're located. But some people will get like, you know, they'll have like, oh yeah, 3 minutes worth of ads or whatever, but then somebody will only get like 2 minutes or a minute and a half worth of ads, and it's just because that's all they had for them. Remember, chat, stay hydrated. And I'm here yapping, so I definitely need it. Okay, should be back from the ads. Let me go into this just a teensy bit. So I did specifically say big indie. Now what that means is that it could be Silksong, but there are a whole lot of people also talking about Deltarune making some sort of reveal at the next Nintendo presentation as well. I actually have not done any research on this in the slightest to see like where these leaks are coming from, how people are anticipating it, why has there been any hints. In any case, I do think if we get one huge indie, that I would just qualify that for this specific spot. And I think, again, I actually think that seeing indie games specifically here and new releases too, is a little unlikely. And the reason being is because they're focusing on the Switch 2 as a console. And so what that's going to focus more on in my head is that, oh, they're going to focus on their first party games. They're going to focus on partners who are making, like, they are literally helping produce games for the Switch that will be big sellers. That's why I think for third party games, it's not only more likely, but I think we're going to see multiple. And so an indie, I don't think that it doesn't deserve a spot at the Switch 2 presentation, but I think it's more unlikely that they would make time for that. And instead, like, they could release a month out or something that an indie could come to it. Because think about it this way, a lot of indies are going to be just listed on the eShop. They're probably not going to be getting their own box copies of the game. So to have like a Switch 2 physical version of Silksong, to me, doesn't make much sense. Because it's probably just going to be digital only until, like, I don't know, Limited Run does something. But yeah, I totally see the potential of a big indie being there, but I am comfortable putting it next to Mario Kart and Metroid Prime 4 because I don't have a huge anticipation that there will be one. So we still got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 12 spots left, so I need to start using my noodle again. You know, You know, a thing I could put on here that I want desperately that would, like, the odds of it showing up are 0, is a new Mother game. Dude, I want Mother 3 remake or even re-release. Like, bro, just give it to us. It's literally on NSO already. But like, to see an actual Mother sequel would be insane. Which is why I'm putting it on there. Yeah, I'm actually gonna put it here, and I think I'm gonna put it in the bottom right corner. Because I think that we need something here that kind of throws a wrench in things. I don't want to put it here because I think it's actually at least somewhat unlikely that we don't see Zelda. Okay, can I have... The one issue is I am now finding a bunch of images that are actually transparent, and I don't want that. Okay, this I think will work. Yes, I will. It's one of these stupid images, though, that literally have a transparent background. I was about to say, it can have a white... It can have a white background for all I care. It's just, I don't need it to look literally stupid. All right, here we go. I think the third row is very powerful. That's reasonable. I can take a look at it. No, I want that to be smaller. There we go. Actually, do I even need to change that at all? I mean, the background is white. It looks fine. There's probably like a slightly different shade of white. I don't honestly care. All right, so bottom row and fifth column is a complete shot. No way that's happening anymore, but it's my list. I want it on here. So third row. Can we put something here that would throw a wrench in? I'm sorry, this is my song. I'm just like absolutely enamored. I'm going crazy. I think that, and I'm going to be editing this. I think it's unlikely for several reasons. But if they were to talk about their new reward system, I think that there's a chance that they talk about it here. Yeah, let's put it here just in case, since it is likely. Alongside Mario. I think that this row probably could be eased up a little bit with the exception of this one right here. Because at this point, we actually don't even know if they're really going to be bringing back any sort of rewards. Because they're now, like, completely, like, gold points are gone now. They're dead. I think I'm just gonna leave this white. Oh, no, I'm not. Is that? There we go. Don't tell me my earbuds desynced again. Yes, they did. So yeah, I think that that's good to have that there. Because I don't know for a fact that GameCube NSO will be there. That is the next most likely console for them to go chronologically, is to put GameCube. So that makes more sense. And then My Nintendo Rewards, again, that's the sort of thing where it's like, could they talk about it during this Direct? Yes. Is it even likely to happen in general? I don't think so. I think that there's like, it is probably like as 50-50 as you could guess. Also, please forgive me, I am going to try and reset my earbuds here. It's not super important that I have music, but I need to make sure that everything audio-wise is going fine, so I'm not trying to, again, not trying to blast anybody. Okay, so maybe we should just finish up the third row, and we need something that is at least somewhat unlikely. Because as of right now, yeah, we have a good bit of powerful stuff here. Also, I don't know how this layer moves, but I am going to move it back. No. There. Okay. I now feel better. Oh, did I move this in general? I think I did. Wait. I think that matches up most everything. I'll keep it there. And move this one again. Alright, I'm going to reset my earbuds here. I really do need to just find some sort of like new dongle or just get new earbuds in general, because this happens way too often. Yeah, third row we need to go ahead and try and finish out. So something unlikely. I think this is where I put Animal Crossing. Dushagama is on out in the arena resetting time. Yep. Honestly, take it back. I like the probability of a new Animal Crossing. See, and that's the thing. It's like, I I don't think it's impossible, because like they could just make it a tease. Also, by the way, you know the easiest thing I could do? I could just go ahead and link all these things that I have already put here, so that way they just don't move. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That way, if I shift it again, it changes nothing. Yeah, because apparently I did shift it a little bit. I noticed that. Oh, did I accidentally change the actual size of this? I think I did. Okay, well, I'll fix that later. That's not something I really need to worry about that right now. Okay. Yeah, all this looks fine. I probably could change some of it, but if I'm really that picky, I can move it at some point. I mean, if there was a place to put Animal Crossing, I think it would be here. I guess. Not on the third row, but here next to the mother announcement, just because, like, what are the odds that, like, that happens at all? You know what? I actually know what I'm going to put here. Next to the big indie. I thought about it already, but I was thinking about where I would want to put it, and I have now figured it out. Yep, that looks good. Okay. I want Kirby to be right here. No, please do not change that. Because again, if there's any likelihood of a new Kirby being there, it's going to be counteracted by this. And I think it is somewhat likely. Because the thing is that for Kirby, the most recent game that we have had is the Return to Dreamland Deluxe game, which is good and, you know, obviously takes a decent amount of development time. But compared to a new Kirby game, it has actually been a while. The last game we got is Forgotten Land. So I think if we see Kirby, that it should be in a list, or it should be in a row where things are at least semi-unlikely. And so we've got pretty likely, kinda likely, and I think that there's less than a 50% chance of an indie showing up. And let me be very specific. This does need to be like a specific announcement for all of these things. Like, again, a teaser's fine. So if we don't get Animal Crossing until 2027, sure, whatever. But Kirby cannot literally just show up in a promo reel and it's like, oh yeah, that's it. No, that can't happen. You can't do it. Also, I figured out the final thing that I'm going to put on row 3. I figured it out, chat. Colors weave into a spire of flame. Distance marks called to a past still unnamed. This is like me being completely genuine. I don't think we see Smash during this presentation. I do not think we see it at all. Which is why I'm putting it here on the third row. Yeah, because there's several things about it surrounding it that's like, how likely is it that we see it? Sakurai is working on another game, but if it is not Smash, then it's... Oh, I guess I could put Sakurai here on the list, huh? Maybe I put Sakurai here in the middle, like right there. Just a pick of Sakurai. Because I think if he's working on something, it's not Smash. I know he says that every Smash is going to be his last Smash game and then he comes back, but no, I actually think that if he is working on something this time, that he is working on something different. And again, I don't expect Smash to be there at all. Now, do I expect Smash to be there at some point on Switch 2? Of course. Like, it's the best fighting game of all time. It's an inevitability, but again, I don't know that it's something that we are going to see here. Unless they specifically say, we are just re-releasing Smash. It's going to have updates, it's going to have balance patches, it's going to have everything that I had before, and so we literally have Smash Ultimate Deluxe, right? So, I don't think we see it, though. This frickin' man. And the thing is like, Sakurai's new game doesn't even have to be Nintendo. He could be working for an indie studio, or he could be partnering with an indie studio. He could be partnering with Bandai Namco. Like, it could be anything. So, like, of all of this stuff, I think that this throws a wrench between these two games, which I think are very likely to be there. Do I think that there's a, like, zero chance possible that Sakurai's game will be there? No, I actually think that it is semi-likely, because again, that's a studio he's worked with the longest. But fact of the matter is I don't see it happening amongst all of this other stuff that we put on here. Okay, I'm gonna cheat here a little bit. There is something I want to move. I'm gonna put the C button here. Because that is something that we know is going to show up. And literally on this row right here, there's absolutely nothing. Like, I'm not even giving myself a chance on this row. Like, this is probably the Xbox thing is more probable than this and this. Plus, this allows me to put, like, another kind of wrench here, I feel like. Yo, odd comic, oh, whatever. See ya, nerd. Goodbye. I don't want your bots. Okay, what else could I consider? I mean, this is something I want, so I might as well put it here on the list. I want the Miis to be prominent in some way, shape, or fashion. And I think... yeah, I think I'm okay with making it this one. Because again, I think the fact that we see something Monolith Soft related is likely, or probably just a bit above 50%. I don't think it's super likely. Elden Ring and just third-party games in general, I do feel like is something that we will really see. And the Miis are about 50-50, IMO. It seems like they're really leaning in the direction now for Miis. So I think there's a chance. But having this between Animal Crossing and the big indie, I think makes it a little less likely that we see it. Or that we, like, complete this row. And again, I'm being very specific here. This has to be something where we actually see something that is wholly Mii related. I am not talking about, like, you know, we see them on a profile icon or whatever. No, I need to see something where they are actually being used in a game or a feature or an app of some kind. Yeah, Smallcom appeared. A Mii world would be fun. So there was a secret test that went on for NSO members. Like, it was a play test that went on, what was it now? I think maybe 6 months ago at this point, or 7. And it was about, like, a kind of social game. And people, like, described it, but I'm not really going to go into it, especially because I don't want to get, like, shanked by Nintendo ninjas. Even though I know nothing about it, pretty much. I've really never looked up gameplay. I've never gone anything outside, like, its general, like, short description. But it was, like, a social game where, like, you place specific beacons on, like, a map, and so it's supposed to be like a social system. I mean, if they were going to try and make a street pass that is more online focused as opposed to literally passing somebody, I mean, I think, you know, I think Miis can be there. So, all right. Let me think of the final big wrench I want to be in the top right corner, because I think that'll make it easier for me to work around it then. Hold on. Well, no, that's probably not unlikely enough. So what I was thinking of was something about like a third-party developer in similar to Xbox being up there. So say Square Enix or Capcom, which by the way, sorry, we're back in ads. But I think that is at least likely that we see like Street Fighter 6 or something from Capcom. I don't know that I want to leave them off the list, but I don't know that I want to put them in the corner either. You know, I might move something again. If I can find where it is. There it is. I think I like moving Animal Crossing up here. Dang, their logo is like so specifically like long that I just need to make sure I have an image that it's more like square and not rectangular. Okay, that's about the best I can find. Because Capcom has been pretty buddy-buddy with most of the industry, but I think Nintendo in particular, they've had a lot of favoritism because they've been showing a lot of fighting games first revealed there. And I mean, if there is a chance we see Monster Hunter Wilds, then it would be here. So yeah, I feel like that's good where it is. Because this row, again, I think this and this are super likely. This is, I want to see the NSO GameCube. Whether or not that actually happens, I don't know. Animal Crossing tease, yeah, I'm about another 50% on them. Then Capcom, like they would have to have a pretty significant presence for me to give them this. But I mean, again, I can see it happening. Like Capcom is probably the one third-party developer besides like ooh, hold on. Well, no, I don't want to put Atlas on there. Yeah, no, I don't want to put Atlas on there. Because I was immediately thinking of Metaphor, but honestly, Metaphor would probably just go under the Elden Ring category. Atlas has been bringing so many of their games to Switch, and the only exception I think now has been like the more recent games like Persona 3 Reload and Metaphor. I think it's very likely that we actually see both of those as part of the third-party reveal. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to do anything else. And again, with Capcom, I want it to be something that is decently large. There was somebody who was mentioning, like, what if a re-debut of, like, a new Mega Man game was on a Nintendo console? And I feel like they kind of did that with 11. But I'm gonna leave it at that, kind of make it a little bit more general, so that way I'm at least giving myself something. What is another dead Nintendo series that I could probably put here on the top row? Because I think I'd want to put it here next to the Xbox thing, so that way, again, we're throwing a wrench into this row specifically. Do I put, like, F-Zero? I mean, F-Zero or Star Fox, it's going to be one of those two. Like, well, Star Fox of the two is definitely the more popular and successful because at least it's gotten a game within the last decade. Let me turn this down a little bit because I think this music is going a little hard. There we go. Yep. Of all the things that will be on this top row, I think F-Zero is actually the most unlikely. Like, actually the most unlikely. And because it's so unlikely, I would probably even count like a remake of this, like of F-Zero GX. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that probably is the biggest wrench I can throw into this column here, because this is guaranteed. Like, literally, we are going to see it. Metroid Prime 4, I would say, has an 80 to 90% chance of being there. Big Indy, I think, is a much lower chance, but it's possible. And Kirby is about the same. I think it's probably like about like a 60 to 70% chance it could be seen, because again, we had just been a while since we've gotten a Kirby game. But yeah, F-Zero here. All the rest of this could happen, but this, we would need a blessing from the gods. All right, so there are literally 3 left. And again, I need a super, not unlikely, but just a kind of hard guess here in this corner. So again, just that way we're not making like this easy. Even though I think the HD remakes aren't like a shoe-in for this direct. I think that's what I want to try and find out next here. Ugh. Moving around in this chair. Let me take a look over here. Is there a series that I have kind of neglected and that could purposefully I could use for that purpose? Gosh, I thought of something else, but I don't want to put it in the corner at all, because it's actually far more likely that we see it. The corner, the top right corner, I actually kind of want to make a little okay, because the problem is that, like, what are the odds that we're seeing something for F-Zero F-Zero here or Mother. And so, like, the only possible thing we'd be seeing is here. Okay. Because I thought of it and I don't want to forget about it, let me go ahead and put the other game that I was considering. This is something that I think is actually very likely to at least show up to some degree. I think in terms of success, Splatoon is probably in like their top 3 performers right now. So I think if we do get a tease, or if we get a tease for like another game that's kind of like still ongoing right now, I think Splatoon is very high up there. And again, now it's like it's content finished because they had the last they already had the last Splatfest. Content complete. So yeah, I'm feeling like I need a little bit more of a gimme for the one in the top, or actually the one in the top right and the one just below it on the, like both on the 5th column, I think need to be sort of middle of the road, like unlikely. I don't think they have to be impossible for us to see. I wanted to make the corner ones impossible, but I completely like just absolutely made it so that this, and this cannot be gotten because they're just gone. Like Mother is the one series besides Tomodachi Life that I was just really wanting to see another entry of. Of course, it's stuff like Smash, obviously, but I know that Smash has a likelihood of appearing before anything else that's on this list. Or most of the things that are on this list. Sorry, let me just say, more than Mother, that's for sure. See, the thing is, I want to put ARMS, but maybe I can just, like, put new IP. Can I just, like, grab the Nintendo logo? God. I love Kirby so much. Alright, this is, I think, this is like the quiet Kirby music. I feel like I need something like a little more bombastic. I know we're about to finish up here, I think, but we'll probably do like once more over. Let's do this one. It's been a while since I've listened to this. I honestly don't remember all the music that's in this specific thing. Well, Brawl is in it. That one's not really a good one either. I just need it with a bunch of negative space as well. This might work. Okay, I'm just gonna delete that. Yeah, I don't think it's still not gonna fit. Screw it, we're just gonna put in arms. I think this is from Bayonetta 3, probably. Actually, if I do this... Let's do this. Because this is funny. Who remembers this? God, the first arms reveal. I will say, I mean, if nothing else, it did leave an impression. Change this a little bit. I think that might be fine. Yeah, that'll do. I'm not satisfied, but that'll do. Oh wait, I did not do... From path, grow, shore. All right. Specifically new IP, I think it needs to be something that, like, you know, obviously we haven't seen before. I would not include any remakes here. So even if we got something like Star Tropics as a remake, I'm not gonna put that on there. Like, it needs to be something that's brand new, the same way that ARMS was. Which, again, that's why I think it's okay to put here, because I feel like it's unlikely. Like, the odds that we are going to see something that's completely brand new is kind of odd, considering the fact that we don't, like, Nintendo has no reason to make any huge risks right now. Like, they can just play it safe for like the first year of the Switch. 1-2 Switch 2. Unless you wanted to, it would make more sense if it was 1-2 Switch 3, because they already have everybody 1-2 Switch. No, I don't want to, of all things, dude. 1-2 Switch is so boring. I've never played that game, and I never will. I never bought it, like, because even though it was like the game for you to play when everybody had their Switch at launch, dude, it was me and Zelda. That and like Shovel Knight. I think Shovel Knight was the other game that like I bought that came out, which again actually kind of reinforces the big indie that you could have on release. I never bought it, even though I want it. I am sure you can find it for cheap at some like pre-owned game stores. Like, I know Nintendo themselves are not gonna bring down the price of it, but if you just go to like a store that has some Switch games, I guarantee you it's probably like $30, if even that. All right, again, we've got it pretty good here. Let me read it over. So we've got Xbox, we got F-Zero, we got Monolith Soft, and we got Animal Crossing. I feel like as a row, that's unlikely enough, because one of them is more likely than anything else, which is Animal Crossing, just if we had like a teaser or a reveal. Xbox, there have been several rumors and rumblings that it could happen, so I'm not 100%, I think that is actually likely compared to some of this other stuff here. Monolith Soft showing something off, I don't really know. I think it is more than 50%, and then F-Zero is like 20%. It is a Nintendo IP. Will we see it? Probably not. We have Splatoon, Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart, which is extremely likely. The new Sakurai game, I mean, I don't guess we won't really know until he makes a tweet or something about it, but I have a feeling that he would, since he is very much a social presence now. Plus, honestly, if it was in a trailer, I'd probably say, by the brilliant mind, Masahiro Sakurai, that kind of stuff. Pokemon, I think, is super likely that we see it there because they would have a Switch 2 version. And then again, a new IP. I don't see it being super likely, which is again why I kind of put it on this row, because I think Splatoon, Pokemon, and Mario are all pretty likely. Smash, I don't expect. Metroid, I super expect. We got a free space. Nintendo Online, I do really want it to be there. I don't know if it will be there. And then we have the My Nintendo Rewards. I almost kind of want to switch the spot of Mario and the My Nintendo Rewards, because I feel like this fourth row is probably the most likely that we could possibly get. This is definitely going to be in the presentation. This is... I have a suspicion that 80% we're going to see the new Mario. Mii's, I mean, again, we got Tomodachi Life, so I don't know that they'd go any more in on that, but I do just mean, like, to any extent, like, if they have Mii's more prominent than they did in like, any prior point, I would include that. Capcom having something there, I think is likely enough, because Street Fighter 6 is a big game that's not on the console yet, and fighting games have actually been a very popular release for the Switch in particular, like Dragon Ball FighterZ and Mortal Kombat, and big indie makes sense. So I think I might actually switch that up. So we have the Zelda games, remakes, which, I mean, apparently they've been cooking them for forever. Like, just re-releasing them, and we don't have them yet. New Kirby game, I think, is likely. We've been long enough without, like, a specific remake or remaster that I think we could see it. Also, I mean, there is the potential, people have been talking about a bundle of Triple Deluxe and Robobot. I would expect that to release as a Switch 1 game, but I don't know. It could be there. Elden Ring and just third-party games in general, I think that as long as we see more than 5 kind of, showcasing like, oh, this is a console that is on par with, everything else, I feel like that's reasonable. The mouse controls for the Joy-Cons, and then Mother. That's the one that I want to see. Will it be there? No. So yeah, let me see. No, I guess I'm comfortable leaving that as. So it is literally just this last spot here in the top corner. And let me scroll it down just so that way you guys can see it all. I didn't know if I wanted to like put somebody specific that would be there. Like, I don't know, like Miyamoto being there present. Whatever. I mean, Koizumi is probably going to be the person to help present it since he was the one who did it for the Switch as well. I'm just trying to think of like other Switch things in general that like maybe hardware wise that I've kind of forgotten. Yellow did mention the peripherals. That might actually be what I put there. Because I don't think it's happening personally. Where like it has like a bundle thing that you can get with it. Yeah, why not? I might actually have to find the Reddit post for it. Yeah, I think I probably will. No, that's actually a decent enough mock-up that has some negative space I could probably use. Well, I guess I'm doing this too soon. Needs to be made a little smaller. Yeah, sure. A little cut off there won't hurt too much. Because it'll be very obvious as to what this is. I mean, actually, I could still write it there to say accessory. Probably boost that up to 50 and make it 60 comfortably. I said that, but I'm going to want to give this an outline, so that'll do. Path from path grow about 5. Yeah, there we go. Like, what did I miss here? And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I think I'm spelling it's already wrong because I think it's 2 S's, and yes, it is. Like, I know how to spell accessories, but I thought that accessory may just be a single S. Incorrect! Frontal. Grew. No. Okay, hold on. I don't think I erased the previous one. Or I didn't go back up far enough to erase that. Do this again. Alright, that looks good. So, zoom out, see if there's anything I would want to move. I don't think any one particular spot looks super likely here, because again, if there was something that was going to be here, here, or here, F-Zero is going to be the big stop. In this column, I feel like, or in this specific area, I feel like the Sakurai game is probably the most unlikely thing that we see. Going here to the sides. The new IP, again, is probably just as unlikely, but fact of the matter is, I think probably a specific mention of Sakurai in some extent is probably the most unlikely. Here, Smash, really do not expect that to happen. I think that is less than 40%, unless they specifically make it Ultimate Deluxe, so they just port the old game, which I'm fine with, because that means we probably keep Sora, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. Then there is, on this row, the most unlikely thing I expect is probably a big indie. Because Capcom, again, I think that there are plenty of big Capcom games out right now, like Resident Evil 4. And we got Katamari going on right now. No, but Capcom in particular, yeah, they have a ton of games that they can bring to Switch, so I think it's likely that we are going to see them to some capacity, whether or not they're, like, releasing something new. I think anything big from Capcom is a decent lock-in. So I think the big indie is probably, like, the most unlikely thing. And again, it's not just, I see a Mii and it's a lock-in. They have to have some sort of, like, new feature for Mii's. Like, honestly, because they did them so dirty on the Switch, even if they bring back, like, a Mii Plaza, that is honestly fine with me. That actually justifies to me that, like, that is a check on the list. Because on the Switch, they're literally in a menu, like, all the way in settings and, like, so far down. There's not, like, a shortcut to it or anything. You just have to know where it is. And, of course, I think on startup, they say, like, oh, you want to create a Mii. But besides that, like, there's almost no reason for you to go out of your way. Making it a dedicated app, I think that, you know, would give it reason to have a check off there. But that's just an example. Me jamming out again. And again, the Mario, like, I think we seeing a reveal is super likely. But I actually, if they want to have a very, very, very strong release for Switch 2, dude, release it with a 3D Mario, you're selling copies. Like, that's just as strong as Zelda. Speaking of Zelda, I think that if we do see it, that we're going to see the a pour of the HD remakes. I would have expected us to have seen them during the Switch 1 presentation, which is why I'm putting him in the corner here. Because why would they talk about those during a Switch 2 presentation? But maybe in particular, like, they wanted to do extra stuff for Switch 2. I don't know. So I put them there. So this is not a blanket Zelda statement. This is literally, it has to be these remakes, which is why I think I'm comfortable putting them in the corner. And then of course, you know, on this row, literally like Earthbound Mother, like what are we talking about? It's the same thing as F-Zero. Like, is F-Zero more likely? Absolutely. It's still very possible to show up during the Switch Direct and have like a new game. I don't think so. But I think all of this is pretty good. If you have any questions or qualms, too bad. Now I'm pretty satisfied with how this is laid out, because I think if we are going to get like to have a success on this bingo board, it's going to be here, because this and this are very likely. Having a reveal of a reveal or a tease of Animal Crossing is reasonable. Not super likely, but you know, likely. Capcom, I think, can be there because they'd be a huge part of the third-party games. Same with Xbox. And then if they are going to give us the next upgrade and tier to Nintendo Switch Online, it's gonna be GameCube. Like, it has to. I would be hugely surprised if they just skip it entirely and go to like Wii or something. I don't think that's gonna happen. Don't get me wrong, Wii is vintage, so you know it could still be there. But there's also been so much outcry specifically for GameCube that I think if they're going to talk about it, it's specifically going to be GameCube. So I think that this one is likely. These are a bust, so anything within Mother's like gasp and width. Also, I meant to say grasp is not going to happen. I think this is The World Ends With You. Correct. The only reason I know that is because of Kingdom Hearts. I don't even know of it because of the actual game itself. I mean, again, this one's likely. This row here. I can see it happening. This row could be likely. But again, Smash is like the one big linchpin. So yeah, I think it is this one right here. This line. So I think that line is likely straight down on the fourth column. Or this one. With the indie, obviously the C button, some Mii's, Capcom, and then a brand new Mario. So, I think that's it. I do appreciate y'all for sticking around. I think I probably am just going to go ahead and end stream. There's probably a little bit of stuff I want to work on before I go to bed tonight, so sorry, my bad. But I did really enjoy this. Thank you guys for sticking around for the discussion and being here just to hear me yap. But in any case, let me go ahead and do my thank yous and special thank yous before I head off for the night. I do believe the only special thank you we probably have is from Dan. That's correct. That is the 100 biddies coming from Dan. Again, always appreciate the support, my guy. I don't have to specifically do it for the reason that you did it, but appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you to Avatar for coming by. Thank you to Yellow for coming by. Thank you to Lando for coming by. Thank you to Josh for coming by. Thank you to Dan once again for coming by. Thank you to, was there one more person? I don't think so, because yeah, I already thanked Avatar earlier. At the very beginning. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you were, if you're lurking, hopefully you enjoy the lurk. I hope you're having a fantastic night or day, wherever it may be. I hope to see you next time on Wednesday, which we may just have another sort of just chatting stream. Goodbye, sorry for the tumbler. No, dude, again, don't apologize for that. I just hope that you have a good night, you know, are in comfort and are able to just enjoy yourself and be in good company. So, of course, take care, my friend. Much appreciated. Also, I will add you as soon as I think to for Pokemon Sleep. Any case, take care, y'all. The next time I'll see you, it will be after the Switch 2 reveal, so we're looking forward to it. Thank you guys once again. See you.